Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. You know that friend you have? He drives a 1970s Porsche 911, air-cooled, possibly a Carrera RS. You know, he has a collection of Jaeger-LeCoultre, Langa, Zenith, Girard Perregaux, some Vacheron, some Patek. He rides a vintage Moto Guzzi motorcycle. Well, you know what else he likes? Parmigiani, and let me tell you why. Today we're discussing the Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda 1950 in 18-karat white gold. A watch from the brand everyone who's a watch nerd and a gearhead should know about. You can see and you can purchase this ultra-thin teardrop-lugged micro-rotor automatic on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos. Please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Go to our sales listing for this watch, with additional accessories included, high-resolution images, sans my wrist, and of course complete pricing details for this extraordinary watch. Now I'm going to tell you about it, but first I'm going to tell you how it fits. It's 40 millimeters, really 39.5 across the round of the case. In terms of thickness, it's slim, right there with a Royal Oak 15202 at 8.2 millimeters thick despite automatic winding. It's 43.8 millimeters from lug to lug with a wrist-hugging tapered set, I should say, two pairs of teardrop lugs that just bend themselves around the wrist. This is a watch that I believe you could wear on a wrist as small as 13.5 centimeters in circumference with great security. But because of the expressive character of the lugs and the explosive dial with signature Delta-style hands, I believe this watch has the persona and the stance to hold up against a wrist of any size, no matter how large. So, great for small wrists and great for large wrists. Let's take a look at the strap that accompanies the watch. Now you can see it features recesses within the case flanks, so a little bit of scalloping between the lugs to allow the strap to be exceptionally close pulled, drilled high and hauled tight to the flank of the case. It allows you to pull the strap down without it being constrained, and at the same time, visually, it closes the gap between the end of the strap and the flank of the case to create a highly integrated look, all flowing, sensuous, almost fluid, almost the look of molten metal frozen in motion. You can see it's an alligator strap, folded edges with a monotone stitch, very comfortable calfskin on the bottom, and you would expect no less from Hermes, the strap manufacturer for Parmigiani and partial stakeholder in the Parmigiani companies. There's a beautiful and simple polished white gold pin buckle for on-the-fly adjustment and a classical low profile. The case is all of high polish, and why not? Given the proportions and the slim profile, it doesn't seem bombastic. It doesn't appear to cry out for attention. It appears appropriate to a watch that's elegant, beautifully designed. Everything in relation to everything else works perfectly. Let's talk about the dial. Now, at first glance, it may appear a little bit barren, especially given that it is so large, surrounded by a minimized silver halo of a bezel. But then you see the gorgeous and gradual taper of the faceted hour markers, hand-applied, the beautiful gleam, simplicity, and yes, corporate modesty of the small Parmigiani marquee at 12 o'clock. Remember when Patek Philippe did that? At center, beautiful Delta-style hands. Neither Dauphine nor Alpha, Parmigiani calls these Delta-style, and they're abundantly luminescent. So although this is a 3 ATM water-resistant dress watch, nevertheless it has the nighttime legibility of a sports watch, and you become quite appreciative of the watch's subtleties. The very shallow recess, the hairline lip around the countersunken subregister for seconds, its sharp lancet-style seconds hand extending all the way to the edge to kiss each one of those lightly marked 5-second increments in the second scale, and the subtlety of that slightly diminished index at 6 o'clock. It's actually a beautifully balanced exercise in minimalism. The original fathers of the Bauhaus movement would be proud of this timepiece, until we get to the lugs, which I must say are functional but also fabulous. Not designed for modesty, nor mechanical simplicity or minimalism. This is a system that Michel Parmigiani himself designed back in the 90s when he founded his brand for both style and ergonomic excellence, essentially decoupling the form of the lug from the case to make the watch fit better. And on the case back, Parmigiani Fleurier manufacture caliber PF701 micro rotor in-house, beautifully finished by hand with 29 joules, automatic winding, a micro rotor in the same plane as the bridges themselves, so the watch is no thicker than a manual, with the convenience of the automatic and the full broad display caseback unencumbered by a central rotor. Now, the mass itself is borne on ceramic rotor bearings for long-wearing durability and also high-efficiency winding to maximize the energizing effect of the micro rotor. This watch features a 40-hour power reserve when fully energized, beats away at a traditional 21,600 vibrations per hour, and the movement itself is only 2.6 millimeters thick, ensuring that this watch is slim in profile and wonderfully elegant in design. Everything about this movement designed for the size of the case, the hallmark of a true manufacturer, Parmigiani creating every part of the watch except the Hermes strap. This is a true in-house movement, beautifully decorated with linear and richly textured Côte de Genève. You can see the guilloche cut of the rose lathe atop the winding mass and the engine-turning perlage pattern on the base plate itself. This is a timepiece to be appreciated. One for those who like the finer things and aren't afraid to go a little bit off the beaten path to find them. Vintage Moto Guzzi, vintage air-cooled Porsche, the kind of person who's into Zenith, the kind of person who's into Girard Perregaux, Lange, Jaeger-LeCoultre, and who also likes to have the fine things from the likes of Vacheron and Patek Philippe and Audemars Piguet. That's the kind of person who would appreciate this watch. If you like your watch to be equal parts left brain and right brain, you owe it to yourself to check out this Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda 1950 in 18-karat white gold on our website.